What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the CFL podcast. And y'all, we gonna talk about ULM versus JSU. Disclaimer: if you expected me to say anything good about the offense, click off this video now, cause it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing good that's gonna be said about them. But I will say this: a lot of y'all reacted to that loss off of pure emotion. And you know, I'll let y'all get it out. I was going to make the video earlier, but I'll let y'all get it out. A lot of y'all have been waiting for Jackson State to lose, and this was the perfect opportunity for y'all to go off after they did lose to ULM. So I'll let y'all get it out because y'all was going to do this regardless of who they lost to. But now I'm going to hit y'all with facts. Because there's a lot of y'all saying they got exposed. It's a lot of y'all saying they defense ain't that good. And you're wrong. You're wrong because you're reacting off of emotion. And I ain't gonna make no excuses. Understand it? I ain't gonna make excuses because I'm gonna get on it. But y'all are wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why. First up, ULM did not win this game. Jackson State lost it. Let's be very clear on that. The only thing I'm gonna credit to ULM is that kicker and their run defense. Jackson State had 7 penalties for 60 yards. 7 penalties for 60 yards. You want to know how much ULM had? 3 for 25 yards. The time of possession for ULM was 30 minutes. The time of possession for JSU, 26 minutes. JSU had 3 turnovers. Guess how much ULM had? 0. That's a big factor. JSU shot themselves in the foot every time they got a little bit of momentum. And anytime they got a little bit of momentum, it was either a penalty, it was either a drop, or it was either a fumble. Let's talk about the offense. If I had to grade Sheduer's performance, you went 27 to 40, 243 yards. That's okay. You had 1 touchdown, but you also had an interception. You averaged 6.3 yards an attempt, and your QBR was 124.5. Aside from that final interception, you didn't really put the ball in harm's way. With that being said, C-. Sheduer gets a C-. It's just not his best. I've seen better from him, so I expect better from him. I feel like I'm being generous with that. You get a C-. The delay of games, the trying to be Superman, all of those things, the turnovers. Even though one of them got called back, which you are lucky, you held that ball like a loaf of bread. He gets a C- grade. And I know Prime is probably harder than that. Probably gave him an F. Sheduer, you get a C-. That's all I'm saying on that. I am so fed up. I'm fed up at this point. It's no excuses for y'all. Understand that. There's no excuses for y'all. Okay, number one, what did I say in the last video? From the opening quarter, you needed to take advantage of every situation you were in. Y'all had great field position all night. The majority of the time, because a lot of time y'all were in your territory, but you were still able to move the ball at least to the 50-yard line. But y'all had great position so many times all night, and you did not capitalize. I don't understand it, okay? Y'all, like I said, 7 penalties for 60 yards. The home team got the home calls. I said that. I said y'all were going to need to play mistake-free football because being that they are the home team and they have not won a game in 2 years, the refs and everybody else were going to help them out, being that this was ULM's best chance of getting a win this season. It was their best chance of getting a win this season, and it came against y'all. So you know, just because of that, the refs were going to help them out tremendously. They were not going to give you a warning for anything. And what did y'all do? Still, undisciplined football, okay? Which I don't understand. I don't understand how you're still making these mistakes by week 3. Y'all are experienced. The majority of y'all are. It shouldn't be happening. Now, blow that run game up and start it over. Peyton Pickett, and I hate to say this, Peyton Pickett is not the answer. He's not the guy. It's been 3 weeks. He's not the guy. He doesn't have any vision. Peyton Pickett has no vision. He has no patience. He has no visions. He gonna get the ball and he gonna run up the middle and get what he can get. every single time. I have only seen one cut from Peyton Pickett in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I have only seen one cut by him. But the offense in general only had 26 yards of rushing offense. That offensive line, better than last year. The offensive line is better than they were in the spring. Way better. With that being said, y'all are still not where you need to be. Y'all still not where y'all need to be. And I'm trying to contain myself, right? Because this is very frustrating. It's very frustrating because y'all have experience at the next level and y'all aren't bad players at all. But for some reason, you cannot get it going. And I'm tired of seeing it. Santee Marshall had -9 yards on the night. Peyton Pickett had, 10? 5 attempts for 10 yards, and you average 2 yards a carry. Now, I know y'all will say 5 attempts isn't enough, but when you don't have any vision, it's like, how many times can I trust you? Show me something in those first 5 attempts, and he didn't. The only thing Peyton Pickett relies on now is catching out of the backfield, which he does exceptionally well. I'll give him that. It's time to put somebody else in. It's time. You have a plethora of backs, and you've only been using Santee Marshall and Peyton Pickett. It's time to change it up. It's not working. It's been 3 weeks. Nothing's gonna change. He might have a good showing versus Delta because Delta is D2, but no, it's not it. The running game is not there, and that is going to continue to hurt y'all throughout the season. Alabama A&M may not have a good defense, but you want to know why their offense is so crazy? Because not only is Akil Glass in that passing game elite, but that running back can get yards as well. Y'all can't do that. After that, we got the offensive line. Like I said, better than you were in the spring, but still not where you need to be. Plenty of times, y'all did a horrible job picking up the blitz. Plenty of times. It is not just y'all, it's on Sheduer as well. But I'm talking about the line right now. Y'all did a horrible job picking up the blitz. And not even just the blitz, you had a horrible time blocking during pivotal moments. There were a few times where I see the defensive tackle come right up the middle to Sheduer. And of course, when a quarterback comes right up the middle to a freshman quarterback who's starting, guess what? He's going to get nervous. He's going to get that ball off before he needs to. He's going to make a bad decision. And Sheduer was poised. He was poised. He was calm for most of the time. That's the only thing. That's the only compliment I'm gonna give him, because you held on to that ball for way too long. We have told you since week 1, you do not have to be Superman. Learn how to throw the ball away. Learn how to throw the ball away, Sheduer. Nothing's there. The pocket is collapsing. You don't have that much time. Get rid of the ball. I'll say this. You have more athleticism that people give you credit for, because there were many times when you ran out of the pocket and you were able to extend the play, and sometimes you got a completion out of it. With that being said, I can't trust you with ball security right now, so I don't even want you doing that. Get rid of the ball. Stop taking hits. There were a few times where you even scrambled and you took hits that you shouldn't have to take. You should have slid. You keep doing that, and God forbid, you might find yourself on the sideline for X amount of weeks. But here's my next thing. Why is Kylan Richey not being used? This offensive coordinator needs to design plays and take advantage of mismatches. Why is Kylan Richey, as big as he is, why does he only have one catch for 26 yards, something like that? Why? Y'all were in the red zone how many times? Nobody even thought to go to Kylan. You're wasting him at this point. You're wasting his potential. The offensive coordinator is wasting his potential, which leads me to my next point. You called horrible plays. Stop running screens. It doesn't work. Y'all, it doesn't work. Stop running the screens. On a 3rd and 6 in the first quarter, 3rd and 6, which you are horrible on 3rd down conversions, you want to call a halfback screen to Peyton Pickett? Really? They don't want to be disciplined. The offensive coordinator don't want to call the right plays, and they don't want to be disciplined. You don't want to take shots. You don't want to take advantage of mismatches. You don't want to do anything. You just want to continue to throw those 5-yard outs to Warren Newman inside the seam and think everything is going to be good. Where was the shots? That's my next point. Where was the shots? You have these, what is arguably the best, or at least the second best, receiving core in HBCU football. And you take no shots. How many FBS receivers do you have? How many Power 5 FBS receivers do you have? And not one person was able to get a jump, a 50-50 ball. Not one. Shane Hooks is what, 6'4", 6'5"? Keith Corbin, he's over 6 feet. Malachi Wideman has probably the highest vertical on the team. I didn't even see him on the field. Like I said, Kylan Richey, as big as he is, you couldn't find one mismatch. And I'm going to put that on Sheduer as well as the offensive coordinator. You couldn't find one mismatch. You were just too scared to take a shot. Really? One thing I will give credit to ULM for is, I think around the third quarter mark, they started to get a little bit more confident and realize we're going to have to take some shots. We're going to have to take some shots. And they did. It didn't work out, but at least they did it. Here's what frustrates me about that receiving core. These drops are getting to be too much. Too much. And I'm not giving y'all any pass for that. Shane Hooks, before you came to Jackson State, you had 34 catches for 635 yards and 6 touchdowns, and you averaged 18 yards a catch at Ohio. Keith Corbin had 94 career catches, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he averaged 16 yards per catch at Houston. Joshua Lanier, you come from Alabama, the NFL factory that put out 4 first-round picks at receiver and has another first-round pick this year. You were able to learn from that coach. You were able to learn from those guys. Your video went viral for dogging 4- and 5-star recruits in practice as a walk-on. Here's your opportunity to finally step on the field. And all 3 of y'all have drops. Drops galore. Y'all had 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. And ULM had none. That was the difference maker. The penalties, the turnovers, that's why you lost. You shot yourself in the foot. You didn't want to take advantage. You didn't want to take shots. And you lost because of it. Y'all, please understand, and I'm still going for JSU. They're still my pick to win the SWAC. They're still my pick to go to the Celebration Bowl. But with that being said, y'all got to get it together. Now let's get to the defense. Thank God for that defense. That's one thing that Jackson State got right. Anybody who says the defense didn't perform well, how? Like, seriously, what would possess you to say that? Let me tell you something. The defensive line did not over pursue like they did last week in the Southern Heritage Classic. Coinus Miller, Antoine Owens, those guys did a great job up front. Niles, I need to see a little bit more from you. You're starting to fade into the back. I don't like that. Niles, you need to be aggressive. They bended plenty of times, but they never broke. You gave up a couple big plays to the air, but you never broke. You kept them out of the end zone the whole game. ULM is a spread offense, and they were off balance. Jackson State's defense kept them off balance. Jackson State has the best defense in the SWAC. It's not up for debate anymore. I don't want to hear who y'all think it is. Jackson State has the best defense in the SWAC. They're physical. They flew around everywhere. They were disrupting the backfield so much in the run game that it was crazy. I was thoroughly impressed. Even when ULM was able to get a couple good plays, Jackson State would stop them. They only give up 94 yards rushing. And that's it. 156 yards passing. How is that an L for them? How is it an L for the defense? Help me understand. How is that an L for the defense? 94 yards rushing and 156 yards passing? A lot of you have unrealistic expectations for this defense. Also, give credit to Aubrey Miller for stepping up when James Houston got hit with the targeting call, because that was a big low. That was a big loss. ULM's offense had 33 minutes of possession time, and they only could score field goals. Even with all that time, you could only get field goals. Not only that, you kept them to 5 and 19 on third down conversions. They were 5 of 19 on third down conversions. They were 0 for 1 on a fourth down attempt. But you're going to sit here and they have 12 tackles for loss, but you're going to sit here and tell me that the defense didn't do their job. I don't want to hear that. These guys won by field goals. All the field goals they kick, and the score was 12-7. That defense deserves credit, but they do have some bad as well. What did I say about the defense, right? What did I say would be their downfall at some point? Missed tackles. Y'all will swarm to the ball, but your tackling is abysmal. Shallow, I know you love to hit. But there was a specific play where you went in for the big hit and that boy bounced right off of you. Because you don't wrap up. You don't like to wrap up. And you need to start doing that. There was a play where I forget if it was a sweep or a handoff, but I know the ball carrier had the ball. There was no way to go for him on the right side of the field. So he reverses field. There's a bunch of white jerseys around him. What does he do? He breaks a tackle. He stiff arms another guy. And he's able to get a first down. If it wasn't a first down, it was at least a yard from a first down. It was little things like that. It was little things like that that was even the reason why they could continue to go and hit those field goals. It was the dumb mistake that y'all made in the first half to give them a second chance at their first field goal. It's stupid stuff like that. Y'all are such a great defense. And if you could just get those little things under control, y'all would be even more dominant than what you are. And I hope the coaches run that through y'all's head. As great as y'all played, y'all can't be let off the hook for what you did wrong. Fatigue. I'm not saying that Jackson State's defense is not in shape, because they are, but you can be in better shape. This is not the only up-tempo offense you are going to face all season. Defensive line, when you're not able to get substituted out, you need to be able to withstand that high-powered offense. You need to be able to withstand that. Too many times, understand the good runs that they did get, all I seen was the defensive lineman huffing and puffing at the line, like gasping for air. You could have ran stunts. Your blitz was working, but you could have ran stunts. You could have really got more creative with the way that you blitz, because it was obvious a lot of the time. And if the quarterback was decent, it probably wouldn't have been as effective. So, you can run a little bit of stunts, disguise it a little better than what you do. I think y'all, because y'all are so confident, I think y'all get away from actually trying to disguise it a little bit. And I think when you play a better quarterback like a Keel Glass, it'll hurt you. But thank y'all if y'all made it to the end of the video. I didn't meant for it to be as long as it is, but like I said, bad performance. With that being said, the takeaways that I take from this game: running game needs to be revamped immediately. The offensive coordinator had better start calling better plays, or you will be out of Jackson faster than a cut can bleed. Defense, great job, but you need to learn how to tackle. You need to learn how to tackle, and that's just straight up. Overall, Jackson State is a really good team, but very undisciplined. The defense is all world. They are all world. Whether you want to admit it or not, they are all world. But even they can be better. They need to live up to their potential. They have the best defense in the SWAC, and their offense are a bunch of underachievers right now. But with that being said, thank you if you made it to the end of the video. I go by the name of Kobe. You're watching CFL Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.